Right. Good afternoon. This is Zafar Iqbal, and today is Saturday, the 17th of June 2023, and we're here to talk about marketing processes and planning. Okay, so this will be the first learning outcome we're going to talk about. Okay, so the unit 2 is about marketing processing and planning, and we're going to talk about the L01. Okay, and L01 is to explain the marketing and how it interrelates with other functional units of an organization. And do you know anything about marketing, Fizan? Have you done marketing before?
And there's like the 5 P's.
5 P's?
Yeah.
Right.
That's all I remember.
All right, okay. So let's talk about marketing. Okay, it's the process, right? Marketing is the process of responsible for identifying, it says, anticipating and satisfying customer requirements profitably, which is the CIM, Chartered Institute of Marketing, which is based in London or nearby there, right? They define as marketing as the management process responsible for identifying, looking for new ways of satisfying customers, right? And the word is customers, satisfying them profitably. Okay, and this AMA, which is the Marketing Association of America, or American Marketing Association, they define marketing as the set of institutions and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners, and society at large. So this is a bit more than the marketing defined by the CIM. So they're talking about marketing as the processes for delivering or communicating and exchanging goods and services for customers and partners and society at large. So there's a bit of difference between the both, both institutions. So let's look marketing in detail. Marketing is about satisfying customers as it is. Okay, marketing is the relationship between organizations and customers, whereas they build upon their strong customer relationship, which is CRM. And the goal is to attract new customers by promising them good value for money and keeping them happy in the market, making sure that you are delivering the goods that they need. Okay, so that's what the marketing is about, is creating the building up of a relationship and winning the customers for a longer time to come, which is creating the CRM, in other words. Okay, so the traditional view of marketing is looking at the marketing, or looking at making a sale. For example, you've got the goods and you flog it onto the market, and you think that the customers will come and buy it and you'll make profit. And that's as far as you can go, or that's as far as you go. So, for example, if you want to sell in market, you sell the customers television, you sell magazines, you direct mails, and you expect other goods and services to be sold in marketing. This is what you the traditional view of the marketing is. Contemporary view, however, is to look at the customer's need, what they need. So you sell goods according to what the customer wants. Okay, so if you got some goods, make sure that that the customer wants those goods, not just a selling because they won't buy it if they don't need it. If you don't know whether they'll buy it because you told them and you don't know, you didn't research. Okay, so the customer, contemporary view is to satisfy the customer's need. And how do you satisfy their needs is by doing some research and looking at their personality, looking at their income, looking at their lifestyle, looking at where they live, for example. And that's where you find out, you do some kind of market research before you flog the goods onto the market. Okay, so this is a kind of creating some kind of a value between yourself and the organization and the customers. Okay, so you are building customer relationship. In other words, that's more important than selling goods and services, because selling is you're looking, the companies or the institution or the organization or the business is looking for their own benefit rather than the customer. But when you are talking about the marketing as such, you're looking for the customer's benefit and well as with your own benefit. Okay, So you need to understand, first of all, you need to understand the marketing process, the marketing, how do you capture this customer value is by looking at the market itself, by looking at the customer's needs, and then doing some kind of research, making some kind of policy, making some kind of strategy. Then you need to integrate that strategy into delivering the materials onto the market and getting the response from the customers. And then, of course, if the customer buys it, comes back to you, you are creating you are creating business profitably, you are creating a relationship between yourself. Okay, so you are satisfying the customer needs. In other words, the customer is very important. So the core, when you understand the marketplace, you need to understand the customer's needs. Okay, what are needs and the difference between wants and needs. Do you know the difference between wants and needs? Any idea what are the needs and what are wants? Fizan? Hello, Fizan, are you there? Okay, customer needs are some goods and services that people when they use them, it satisfies their inner need. It satisfies their what you call them. It satisfies their satisfaction. For example, my need is I need water, I need food, I need sleep, I need clothes, and what I want is something that is extra than my need. Okay. And what's my demand is something extra beyond the wants. Okay, so my need is basic needs, food and shelter and clothing. My want is something I might desire. Okay, I may not have the money to have that want. Okay, and therefore I can do without my want. Okay, I want a bigger house, I want a bigger car, I want a lot of holidays. Okay, that's possible, but if I don't have the money, then I can disband that want. Okay, I can live without it, but I can't live without food and my needs. And my demands, okay, is beyond my wants. My demands are more extra, right? Demand is something that are, if you got the money, you buy it. If you got no money, then you can't buy it. Okay, so that's backed by buying power. The more buying power you have, the more your demands are for it. Okay, so it depends where where your needs are, where your wants are, and where your demands are. So my need is my physical needs, my food, my shelter, my clothing, my social needs, my belonging needs, my individual needs. And wants are something that I need when shaped by culture or by society or by individual responsibility or personality. My wants, I need a luxurious car. I want I want some kind of a luxurious house and so on. So my demands are something that are extra. If I have the power, if I have lots of money, then I can afford it, and otherwise I can't afford it. Okay, what's the next thing we need to look at? What's marketing? The market offerings is the product and services, or it's a combination of product, services, information, and experience offered to a market to satisfy customer needs and customers' wants. Okay, entities, for example, products, services, places, organizations, and so on. So these are the things that are offered onto a market. But when the customer thinks about these offerings, they think that this offers them the benefit and experiences, what they will be satisfied by these products. They've got something in mind. Myopia, marketing myopia is some kind of stigma attached to a customer's mind, that this is the product and this is the best product and this is what the product will offer to them, and they make more attention to that particular product and they keep on buying. Okay, that's what market offerings is. Okay, so the customers, they have to be satisfied when they're buying goods and services, when they want to make sure when they buy these goods, they are buying some value and satisfying their needs and satisfying their offerings. Okay, so this satisfied customers will buy those goods again and again when they think it's a market myopia is benefiting them. People who are not satisfied with these goods and services, they'll go somewhere else and they'll buy from somewhere else. So these people who have low expectations, right, they will want to satisfy their satisfaction by buying goods from somewhere else. Okay, and those people set high expectations from organizations and thinking that they will be offered very good service, very good products for money, but they find themselves disappointed by that particular relationship, by that particular thinking. Okay, the next thing is, how do we create exchange and relationship? Now, exchange is an act or the act of obtaining a desired object from someone by offering something in return. Marketing determines, or marketing is something that determines the creating, the maintaining and growing particular exchange relationship with the particular audience. Okay, and making sure that you build on these relationships. So therefore, the relationship is very important in exchanging those goods and services when we're talking about the mind bringing those goods and services onto board. Okay, Fizan, are you okay?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Are you following me?
Yeah, I just had to step up for a few minutes because someone came to the door.
If you don't understand, please stop me. Please, give me a signal, then I'll stop and we'll go over the point. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So markets is a place. It's some kind of imaginative thing, or maybe it's real thing as well. It's a place where buyers and sellers come to buy and sell goods. They come and buy their goods, and sellers are there to sell their goods. So the both parties are there to look at goods and services where they interact with each other. They get some information, they buy some products, they exchange goods, they exchange money, and they build up relationship. This is example, day to day. I mean, sure, markets are where buyers and sellers meet in order to exchange goods and services for a particular consideration, which is the money, and then they talk to each other, they build relationships, and they come again and they buy goods and services again. So that's what a market is. Okay, and I have just been to market myself, and this is you go and this is you talk to these suppliers of goods, and they talk to the customers, and it builds up a relationship. There are other competitors, there are other people. So if you look at this diagram, modern marketing system is where there are lots of suppliers. Maybe they are company, they are small organization, they are their competitors. There are competitors as well. There are other businesses. They try and go to a market through intermediaries like agents or other institutions. They want to go to the final customers, i.e. they go, right? The company may sell to the intermediary, the company may sell to the small shops, and then small shops will sell it to the final customers. But the customers also can go direct to the company to buy goods and services if they want to, and then forget the middle bit. Okay, but this will create a relationship between the consumers and the competitors, or the consumers and the company itself, leaving the middle bit out. But when we're talking about market, the middleman or the middle market is very important to create relationship. Okay, marketing management talks about the target, choosing the target market and building up customer profitable relationship with them. So the target market is very important. Looking at the target market segmentation, depending on the company's strategy, the company, what the market are they following, what kind of strategy they have. So if you look at the customer driven strategy, when you design a customer driven strategy, you need to talk about selecting which particular market, which particular target, which particular customer are you going to catch? You know, you're going to catch a ladies market, a younger end of the market, middle end of the market, or, you know, and older age. Okay, what kind of customer you're going to catch. Okay, you choose a kind of a value proposition. You look at the marketing orientation. You look at the marketing from a point of view of a customers, and making sure that you manage that particular orientation according to your production, product, selling, and marketing, and societal concept. There are different marketing concepts that you can, you know, select when you are choosing the market, target marketing. Is it, you know, what type of marketing are you going to go for? Okay, so if you look at this, if you look at this particular diagram, are you going to go for a selling concept or the marketing concept? As earlier on we said, you know, this company is only interested in selling, and this company is only interested in marketing. So there's a difference between the two, right? When you're talking about the selling, you're talking about a product from coming from the factory. You're going to sell it and promote it, and then you're only talking about your, you know, selling into the existing markets, really, rather than creating new markets, rather than creating new customers, rather than building on widening your market. You're already existing, your factory is there, you make this product, you go and sell it to the market, into the existing market, and you're only looking at the profit volume. Through profit volume, you can generate profit, and you retain that customer, you retain that market. If you're talking about the marketing concept, you are creating new customer needs, new customer relationship. You're talking about integrating the marketing concept into the marketing strategy, and building upon the relationship with the customer. And so that when the customer is satisfied, he's going to come back to you. So this is the main difference between the selling and the marketing concept. Okay, so when you want to make this marketing concept, we need to look at the society, we need to look at the consumers, we need to look at the company, and we work together, and we make sure that these concepts are working between ourselves. The three, you know, the three people, or the three concepts, or the three what you call them, three elements are working together to design a new marketing concept, a new marketing strategy. Okay, and that leads us to look at the marketing mix. I'm sure you've read the marketing mix, and marketing mix is 4 P's. Originally it used to be 4 P's, which is product, price, place, and promotion. 4 P's of principles of marketing, or marketing strategy. Okay, or product marketing mix. This is very important. You know, you sell the right product to the right customer at the right price, at the right place, at the right through the right promotion. I.e., what is mean by product? You need to know what the product is. You know, what is a product? It's a physical product. It's a physical shape. You can feel it, you can touch it, you can taste it. So the product's got to be right for the consumption. It's got to be, you know, right design, for example. It's got to be of the right material, and so on. Okay, so the product's got to be a product which satisfies the customer needs. Okay, and it's got to be right, fit for consumption. And of course, if the price is, if the product is good, but it's not at the right price, if it's too expensive or too low, then you can't sell it. Okay, so you can't really promote or sell that product, because the customer doesn't want. So you need to be able to sell the product at the right price. And how do you know what the right price is? It depends what the customer needs, or what the customer is going to pay for you, for your product. Yeah, so that you have to find out what's the customer going to pay for that particular price. And so you need to do some research. You need to do marketing research. Okay, market research is very important, and marketing research is something else. So the price, it depends on what strategy are you going to use on price, or defining pricing, and what strategy what type of psychological pricing or skimming pricing or penetration pricing. What's the that kind of strategy. Which place are you, which kind of channels you're going to use for your selling those products. Places where you're going to sell the product, how are you going to sell it, how are you going to manage these intermediaries and warehouses or distribution centers or shops, or are you going to sell it direct to the customer? So place is very important, and it's got to be the right place. No good having a place in the middle of desert when nobody wants to buy the product. Nobody will go there. So the place has got to be right. And lastly, the promotion is important, i.e. how does the customer get awareness of this, that you are selling this particular price, this particular product through this particular channel. Which channel are you using? Maybe the customer is not watching that kind of channel. Maybe he's watching something else. So that you got to find out what the customer, what type of channel, what type of social media, what type of newspaper, what type of articles, what type of magazine, or where billboard, or does he look at the billboard, or does it, do they watch TV at a particular time? So you got to promote the product at the right time and with the right channel. So this is a blend of 4 P's, in other words. Okay, but these days the 4 P's has been extended to another 3 P's. I think it's gone over 7 P's. Where you have to look at the environment, you have to look at the product beyond its 4 P's. Nowadays there's 7 P's, and it's a comprehensive. Make sure that it's a comprehensive blend of a marketing strategy into the 7 P's has gone into consideration. Now 7 P's is very important, and that's a marketing mix. So you need to know about the 7 P's or a marketing mix as such. Okay, are we okay up to this? Now going on to the customer, building on to the customer relationship. Beyond 4 P's, we make sure that the customer relationship is very important. Then customers are satisfied. The customers know what they're going to go for, and the customers got to be delivered a product that they want, that they need, that their needs are satisfied, and that once you build that relationship, then of course the customer is satisfied and they'll continue buying those products, and you expect the performance of the market, performance of the customers matches your expectations, and you making your marketing strategies work. Marketing strategy is very important because you need to know what your overall marketing strategies and what are your corporate strategies. So there's 2 types of strategies. So marketing strategy is a sub-strategy of the corporate strategy. The corporate strategy is the general overall plan as to how the company is going to exist, how the company is going to go forward in next number of years. Marketing is one element, how the marketing department or how the marketing function or how the marketing people are going to contribute their contributions towards achieving the company's overall aims and objectives and goals towards the how they're going to move overall in X number of years. So the marketing strategy is based on marketing objectives, and these marketing objectives are making sure that the you do your 4 P's right, your marketing plan is correct, and making sure that the daily promotion or the product are the right, you're doing the right promotion, selling the right goods price, and making sure the right channels and services through going all this, and they are filling these tactically, i.e. daily operational, their operations are feeding into the tactical or feeding into the strategic of marketing objectives. So it's very important that the objectives, short-term objectives, concrete objectives are feeding into the marketing plan. So objectives got to be concrete So for example, one marketing objective could be to achieve 5% of the market share within the next year. Okay, and that is an objective that one needs to fill in order to achieve the marketing objective, and that once you achieve that, that will fill in the overall objective of the company. So looking at this marketing objectives, you need to do some kind of a planning. You need to do some kind of research. You need to make sure that the product planning is there, the business planning is there, the divisional planning is there, and corporate planning, and they all feed into the bigger, feed into the implementation of all these channels or all these planning. Then once they are there, you need to know how you're going to implement these strategies, how you're going to control them. So there should be a mechanism of these objectives. So if you achieve 5% objective, how did you implement? What are the feedbacks? And did the feedback work, or did the feedback not work? And if the feedback is not working, then you need to start looking at the plan again and amending those plans in according to your strategy. So you got to go back to the circle and change the plan, and then try and implement this plan, and then check it out, measure it, diagnose it, taking some corrective action. Again, it's just like so then you learn by trial and error. It's just like a thermostatic control. When the heating temperature goes up and down, you control it by a thermostat, and if it's too cold, you put it up. If it's too low, or if it's too hot, then you put the temperature low, and then you check why is this too hot and why is this too cold, and you control the monitor, you control the thermostat, and then once you found out the right temperature at the right time, that's where you set the temperature. And this is where exactly the same with marketing. You set the right objectives, but if the objectives are not right, then you change them, amend them, implement them, and feedback them, and then sort of making sure that they work again and again for you. Yeah. Okay. So you need to have a mechanism built into the strategic objectives, marketing objectives, and this is where the marketing strategy should support the strategic objectives. So you make sure that your strategic objectives are feeding into the organizational strategic plan, which is very important, because these objectives which the organization allocates to its marketing function to support the overall corporate strategy are broad, are very important. So if they are very broad, you need to specify them, and this is when you specify them in concrete terms, they will feed. It's very easier to achieve those objectives into bigger objectives, and this is where your planning and controlling and implementation controls come in. Okay. How do you make sure that this happens? This happens through control mechanism. As Mr. Cutler, one of the controls, or one of the processes, management processes, has been suggested by Cutler and Keller, and they suggest that the key ingredient of marketing management process is insightful, creative marketing strategies and plans that can guide marketing activities. You're developing the right marketing strategy over time requires a blend of discipline and flexibility, and firms must stick to a strong but must also find ways to constantly improve it. So what he's talking about is he is saying that there should be a mechanism built into the strategy which controls, which looks at these disciplines, and which are flexible, which are but they are constantly changing, and you have to improve according to the needs and needs and requirements of the customer. Okay, and this needs to the strategy needs to build upon customer relationship. Okay, and there are different types of customer relationship. It depends on the levels and depends on the tools. So the level is depends on basic relationship, which we have low margin customer with some, with the low margin customer, and there is some full relationship or full partnership with high margin customers, i.e. some low margin customers are, your basic relationship. They come and they give you some kind of basic, they buy the goods, and the goods are not, you're not earning a lot of money from these people. You're not earning a good amount of profit from them, because they just come and go. They just in by chance. Whereas the full partnership customers, or the full people who are there with high margin customers, they are regular customers. They are your good customers. They are long-standing customers. Okay, and they'll be more profitable for you, and you need to bank on those rather than people who are coming and going and creating low relationship. What type of tools you use to bring these type of low customers and high customers or high margin customers is you look at the frequency of marketing programs, loyalty cards and club marketing programs and incentives that you give them. It depends on what type of customers, to what type of profit they give you, and what type of tools you use to bring or to retain them. Okay, and one of the thing that you need to find out is when you want to engage customers into marketing, you must involve these people into direct and continuous customers involvement. So make sure that these people are there for your for your products, and make sure that they rely on marketing. They make sure that these customers empower relationship, or you empower them to create a good relationship between yourself and the customers and the organization. You talk to them and you engage them. You make sure that you pass on the correct message to so that the engagement process continues, and make sure that these people are staying with you, and they want to make sure that you exchange good relationship with them. You make sure that they come and buy the goods and experience, and you make sure that these people are brand exchanges created by consumers. You make sure that these people are asking for new products, and make sure that these people stay with you, and to create a kind of customer demand. They create a role for themselves, so that you provide those goods that are wanted by those customers, by those consumers. So this is how you're going to generate marketing with consumers and build upon relationships. You need to look at the partnership relationship management, customer relationship management, okay, CRM, and you work through with these partners, you work through with these consumers, with these customers, to build the customer relationship through cross-functional teams. Make sure that these people are going through different channels, different cross-functional teams, to find out about the product, find out about the market, find out about the firm themselves, and to create a partnership between the customers and the organization, because the marketing strategy will depend on that. Also, you can go through suppliers and channel partners to find out outside the partner firm. So looking at maybe phone call to the suppliers, and how is the the organization doing, and you find out about the organization, not from within but outside the firm. Okay, and this will create customer relationship, customer brand retention, customer loyalty. This makes sure that the customer is loyal, and then they'll be more profitable for you. So the customers will not defect somewhere else. So you brand, you get the customers loyal, and you make sure that these people stay with you. Make sure that they are creating a purchasing stream for yourselves, and you should really bank on them. You should try and not to deflect from them. Make sure that these customers are providing a lifetime value for you. So the customer value is very important. Some customers are low customer value, and some customers here, going back there, customer value is creating low customer value, and some people will be high customer value and they'll give you high profits. So you must make sure that these people will stay with you and you retain them. Okay. Then how do you increase the share of customers? How do you make sure that your customers increase? Now you can increase your customers by having good customer relationship. You're having a good variety of products, making sure that the current customers are satisfied. Make sure that you are creating some kind of programs to cross-sell and upsell to market more products and services to the existing customers, because these existing customers will be more profitable for you. You can build upon customer equity. Now this is the customer equity is how many sales they generate for you. The customer equity is created when we are talking about the total combined customer lifetime value of all of the company's current and potential customers. It helps to make your future value of the company's customer based. How do you define this customer equity? Is you look at the profitability, you look at the customers, how much are they profitable, how many times they are buying your goods in a year, for example, and then you multiply the value by the number of times they buy your goods. And this is where you create customer equity. Okay. So your customer equity or your customers are relationship, you divide those into relationship, and people who are creating or who are giving you high profitability are people who are there with you for a longer term. Okay, so these are your true friends, in other words. So high profitability with high loyalty are the people who are your true friends. They'll stay with you, and this is the top quadrant there. Okay, but the people who are creating low profitability and low loyalty are the people who come and buy the products by chance. They didn't want to go somewhere else. They come to you, and they come as strangers. They'll be there with you for a shorter term, and these will go somewhere else in the longer term. But these people are called strangers. They are there for a shorter term. They create some kind of a low profitability and low loyalty. Okay, they are not loyal and they'll go somewhere else. And this you don't rely on these people for more than a shorter term. These are not your customer base. These are not your customers for a longer term. These are there for, these are opportunists. In other words, they come and buy these goods, and then they next purchase they'll go somewhere else. So you can't bank upon them. You bank upon your customer base, which is true friends. This is where your strategy is going to be built upon, and you retain these customer relationship management. And these butterflies are good for certain season. They are good for you to give you a good profitability in the shorter term. These people will give you low profitability in the shorter term, and then they'll go away. These people, butterflies, are people who will give you good profitability in the shorter term. You can also create an opportunity to retain or create a new customer relationship for them. You can create some kind of opportunities for them and try and catch them, try and get them on your side. So you build this true friendship so to increase your customer base. Okay, so these is an opportunity for you. And the barnacles are there for a longer term, but they give you low profitability. They are thinkers, this is they are, in other words, they'll come and buy your goods, and when everything's gone, or when they have, you know, left some money, and they'll say, okay, let's go and seek bargains. Okay, so these are laggards, people who are, you know, they're not really interested in buying goods, but they've got some money, they have some kind of interest, and then go the last minute and they buy these goods, but they'll be your longer term friends. So here you create opportunities for butterflies, and also you look at barnacles. Maybe you can look at them and make sure that you bank on these butterflies, and look at the research into getting more customers from barnacles, move them to the true friendship. So this is building up customer relationship according to the, you know, the quadrants that we have. We call them strangers, barnacles, true friends, and butterflies. So the customer relationship is important, and that will increase your customer equity in the longer run, because this will measure your company's firm's performance according to the current sales and the potential market share. And if your customers increase, your profit share and the market share and the profit will increase, because your customer relationship has been working, and you know, you can move up on the ladder of customer relationship and change your market strategy according to that. Okay, now this is very important when we look at the changing marketing landscape in digital age, because the digital age, or the internet age, or the social media age is of course changing economic grounds, economic reality, economic environment, and the growth depends upon your globalization, rapid socialization, making sure that people are aware of your products and services, making sure that you're building upon ethics and responsibility, or social responsibility. The more you tackle these non-product elements, the more creative you are, the more customers you're building, the more you know, knowledgeable you're creating more awareness in your market customer base, and they're going to make sure they're going to rely on you, because it's a digital age, and your digital age is a platform where you can propagate about your customer relationship, and where you can build upon these customer relationship according to the environment, according to the change, according to the climate of these days. And one of the other thing that you need to do is to look at which online social media marketing you are using, which mobile marketing are you going to use for your organization's marketing strategy. Okay, what type of people looking at these difficult or different you know, channels and, you know, social media platforms are they using? Are they using Facebook or Instagram or chat box, or, you know, Google, or, you know, other types of media? So you need to be making sure that when you're blending, when you're making your marketing strategy, you take these into account, because it's very important these days that you use the right channel to market the right product through the right channel to the right customers, depending on the channel. So if you want to sell, for example, mobile phones, no point looking at the you know, billboards, or maybe no point is you know, using the magazines, for example, that the people don't even read, or you know, you use the mobile channels to stimulate customers which use the social media, the type of market you're going to attract. The you know, use the channels, radio channels that people don't listen, for example. So you need social channels that people, that the customers, that the youngsters are looking for, and the type of market target that you're going to target. Okay, so you choose the right channel to stimulate demand, to stimulate awareness, to make sure that your experience, make sure that your strategy hits that particular target market, okay, and you create that awareness through the right channel for the right product, okay. Economic environment is also important to create a relationship to marketing strategy, to make sure that the customer knows about the economic situation. For example, if they in the post-recession area, for example, consumers become more frugal, okay, the new customer spending emphasize simpler living. Marketers are focusing on practicability or practicality and durability in their product offerings and marketing pitches. So making sure that these changing economic climate, changing climate change or economic change is not undermining the consumer confidence. So you create, build upon confidence, you create the customer, you make sure that the customer after the recession is given confidence of the market, given confidence on the relationship, making sure that these economic conditions are not undermining the consumer confidence as such, okay. Then we're going to talk about the growth of non-profit marketing, which is a very competitive, which is this growth of non-for-profit marketing is where the companies or the organizations try and support and create stiff membership or from competitors, and they don't even try and aim for the profit. They try and aim for the customers, and they try and aim to support them by certain ways, by helping them to keep in the market themselves, make sure that they don't lose customers. So you offer support, you offer advice, you offer guidance, you offer them some kind of membership, you offer some kind of sales and after sales service, for example. You try and be going more for the non-product services to retain the customer. That will be very helpful to developing marketing strategy. Now, the social channels or the social marketing we talked about is also to what extent is the company's competitors or industry or managers around the world are taking, to what extent are they taking their products to local and looking at the local market, or looking at the local what you call them marketing channels, or looking at the local ethics or responsibility or the globalization, and what are the impacts of this. So the companies, when they are building up relationships, they've got to take these into account: ethics as well, social responsibility, extra services, the channels they are applying through the customers, or the social channels the competitors are using for their products, or your advertising for your products, and make sure that these customers are kept abreast of these developments, so that we can look at the market, we can look at the customer, and we advertise through those, okay. So all in all, we talked about the marketing process. Make sure that the marketing is not just the marketing, but it's a building upon relationships, okay. And the relationship is very important for designing and creating customers, building upon relationships. So you can look at this expanded model of the marketing process, and it all talks about the building relationships rather than the selling. So the building a relationship on the customer's relationship, on the research, marketing information, research, advice, designing the designing, the pricing. All these are very important. Building upon the relationships and building upon the customer marketing processes. Okay. Role of marketing in strategic planning. So coming on to the role of marketing in strategic planning is very important. The role of marketing is important in the sense that the sales and market share analysis, product life cycles, profit analysis, it depends on the information. It depends on information from the past. What type of information did we get, in the past? And your sales, your market share, your profit life cycle, your product life cycle, your profit analysis depend on that particular information, and its particular information depends on the performance of the organization. So the role of marketing strategy, the role of marketing in preparation of the strategic planning, it depends on the information, the data we have got from the past and the performance, according to Lancaster and Massingham. Okay, information also depends on the current market position, and also when we're talking about the role of marketing in strategic planning, it depends on the future information, on the future trends, and the future changes. So it depends on the past, it depends on the current situation, and it depends on the future situation. From the past, we can say what sales trends we had in the past, and we look at the life cycle and the profit analysis. In the current situation, we can look at the market segments, in what type of market segments are we going to go for, what type of customers are we going to go for, are the customers satisfied, how do we know? We need to look at the reviews, we need to look at their feedback, we need to look at their what they think about us. And we need to make sure that what our competitors, for example, how we competing with our competitors. So this will feed into the future, okay? And the future planning will affect the demand and the future forecast and so on, okay? So this role of marketing depends on the past, current, and the future trends, okay? And this gives us an opportunity of window. This gives us a strategic window and marketing planning. This gives us an idea, okay? This planning will give us the idea of producing, the window of opportunity is there for us to plan, for us to see how we can fit into the future, how we can fit our requirements, what are the requirements of the market, what are the requirements of the demand, what are the requirements of the customer, and where is the best product for the right customers and for the right people at the right time. So the strategic window is an opportunity of window where we can plan, where we can fit ourselves to the best requirement of the market and the particular competencies of a market, competing in that particular market at an optimum level, and an optimum level is the market plan. So we've got to make sure that our market plan is right for the right purposes, okay? And the market plan, according to Proctor, he suggests that there are 5 actions, there are 5 points action in a marketing plan that we can have. We have to we can go through that action plan, okay? It depends on, number 1, it says identify the opportunities and threats posed by opening and closing of strategic windows. And number 2 is analysis or analyze the relevant information or internal and external and environmental factors acting upon the organization. And the third point that Proctor suggests as a 5-point action plan is to determine what's the best strategy or the set of strategies that are likely to enable an organization to take the best advantage of strategic window while it's open. Number 4, he says make sure that we have adequate resources available to carry out that plan. And number 5 is implement the strategy to to the best of our ability and make sure that strategic window is working and it's the best it's the best strategic option that we have gone for. Okay, so the marketing plan depends on these 5 points according to Proctor. Okay, Now, looking at the external analysis, we want to make sure that the external analysis, i.e. the external environment, external problems or external issues are affecting the marketing plan, also considered into planning, into marketing planning. Now, this can be, the pestle, for example, political and economic and social and other factors are affecting the organization marketing policy. So we want to make sure that this is taken into consideration when we are, doing our marketing planning. For example, one of the factors, you can have what's the situation like, economic situation of that particular country, what are the technological advances, or how the technology is affecting the company, or how's the economy of that particular country is affecting that particular organization, and how will it feed into the marketing planning. Are we exporting, are we importing, are we taking these into account, or how is the currency, for example, affecting our imports and exports policy, inflation and unemployment, and political situation affecting that particular organization, and how will that affect our marketing, and so on. Okay, so this is very important. Another important factor is environmental analysis, as I said, pestle analysis, and so the internal as well as the external factors are important when we are planning marketing planning. Okay, when we are delivering or we are making our market strategy, we want to make sure that the environmental as well as the internal analysis are taken account. The macro and micro factors are very important when we are planning the marketing. Okay, so the micro is like we need to carry out some kind of SWOT analysis to make sure that we have resources, we have sure maybe we have opportunities, we may want to make sure what are we good in, what are we weak in, and we create some kind of opportunities there. And we want to make sure that the macro effects are taken into consideration as political, economic, social, technological, economic factors, as we explained, political like inflation, for example, economic factors like exchange rates, and social factors like living standards or living habits or employment patterns, and technological factors as to research and development or implementation of new technologies or internet and so on. Okay, so this is very important. So when we are designing, when we need to look at the marketing, and when we look at the marketing planning, when we when we are going into our developing our marketing policy, we want to make sure that these are taken into consideration. Okay, and this is very important when we are making our marketing planning. We want to take these into consideration. So today's lecture has been to look at what's marketing, what are the marketing processes, and how marketing processes can be taken into consideration when we are creating planning, when we are creating strategies, when we are doing our marketing. Customer relationship is very important when we are doing marketing. So we're not really selling anything, but we're trying to market. We are marketing, and marketing is very important when it comes to planning and marketing process. So what we considered today is we looked at the role of marketing. We looked at the creating the marketing relationship. We looked at the differences between marketing and selling. We looked at the forms of marketing. We particularly looked at the marketing customer value. We looked at the customer relationship. We looked at the needs, wants, demands, and we looked at the other bits, what you call them, markets. We looked at the marketing strategy, how to build up strategy, how to create relationship, how to create marketing mix. For example, we need to make sure that the customer relationship management is taken into consideration. And we also looked at the internal and external factors affecting our marketing objectives and other consideration related to marketing process. So I hope I try to create some kind of impression on you. So if you have or I have trying to get some points over to you. If you have any comments, please, if you have any questions, please fire away. I'll try and answer if I can. And if you do not have any questions, thank you very much for joining. Fazan, any questions?
No questions.
Did I make myself confusing, or did you follow what I said, or did you not follow what I said?
It was fine, right? I'll read back through the slides in more time. Yes.
So any confusion, I'm sure you have to do some reading, just not by the lectures, but you have to create your, you have to go to your reading, and you have to make sure that you do some, reading on the, through your books and ebooks. There are some materials there on the platform.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do reading?
Yeah, I do.
Right. So if you, any other concerns or problems?
No.
And Ishika? Okay. So when we are joining you tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yes, L02. We're going to be talking about the L02. So if you can look L02, if you can read a little bit ahead, that'll be fine. That'll be good. Then we can interact a little bit more. Okay. So, I'll speak to you tomorrow, and we'll talk about L02.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, and have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.